Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. I'm just going to give it another minute just to let other people join, and then we'll get going. Okay, we're probably about ready to start. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, which is Intro to Prospect CRM, the official CRM for Unleashed. As some of you might already know, we are owned by the same company as Unleashed, but we've worked closely with Unleashed for a number of years now, and share hundreds of customers, hence the natural acquisition of both products by the Access Group. But just before we get into anything else, I should probably introduce myself. So I'm Louise Shackle, and I'm the sales manager for Prospect CRM. My team operates the UK and also APAC regions as well. And yeah, so that's a bit about me. I've been at the company now for 13 years, so definitely part of the furniture. But I've obviously been lucky enough to watch the product grow and evolve over that amount of time into what I'm going to show you today. So let's get into it. So why is Prospect CRM so perfect for Unleashed customers? So as I mentioned, we are owned by the same company, so we have same development teams. We're pretty closely knit in that respect, and lots of what we do is obviously purposed towards our Unleashed customers. But the real aspect for us is the integration that we have to Unleashed. So being able to bring all of the data from your back-end operational systems into a sales interface for your customer-facing teams, giving you lots of key customer insights and actionable reports, which I'll be able to obviously demonstrate today for you. But the ultimate thing is that we have such a niche in the market. So we only sell to wholesale manufacturing and distribution businesses, so those that are selling physical products from stock. So our real goal is to help real businesses achieve real B2B sales growth, essentially. And one of the key things, obviously, to look at is how we compare in the market. There are hundreds of CRM solutions out there. You might be using another one as we speak today, or you might be looking at others as well, but there are hundreds out there and it's a pretty saturated market. So obviously for you guys, it's quite something to understand why you would choose Prospect CRM over one of these other hundreds of CRMs out there at the moment. Now, as I mentioned, Prospect CRM is built for product businesses. We have that niche in the market, and I'll come back onto that. But obviously, when you're looking at comparing software solutions, regardless of whether that's CRM or anything else, one of the main things to look at is the reviews that being left, the kind of star ratings. But quite honestly, in today's market, for whatever solution you're looking for, any good software business should be achieving those 4 or 5 star ratings. So for today's comparison, I have picked out of those hundreds of CRM solutions, Salesforce, Pipedrive, and HubSpot, just to kind of give you a bit of that comparison. But really, you could swap any of those CRMs out here as well. So as I said, it's relevant to look at those reviews and understand star ratings, of course, but ultimately the real comparison comes down to the users of these solutions. So just taking a look at, if you break down those kind of reviews by industry, so these are actually statistics that are actually off review platforms and the makeup of those star ratings. So the likes of Salesforce, Pipedrive, and HubSpot, and what we call traditional CRMs. So they're not called traditional because they're old. It's because obviously they're kind of the first into the market, and typically the market is driven in software solutions quite often by people like computer software businesses, marketing agencies. Wholesale and distribution tends to kind of come later into software and kind of picking up the new trends in that. So when CRM was first a thing and businesses started using it, those businesses were service-led businesses, so not people that are selling any physical products from stock. And if you break down the reviews by industry for these traditional CRMs, you can quite quickly see that they are majority of the time used by these service-led businesses, so the likes of the marketing agencies, financial services, and so on. But when you then break down the reviews by industry for Prospect CRM specifically, you can really start seeing that niche in the market that we have. And all of our reviews by industry are from these product-led businesses, so the likes of food and beverage, coffee companies, packaging, etc. Which really then kind of, gives us what the tagline that we have coined. So it's pretty unique to us, but we are voted the #1 stock-aware CRM. And as I take you through today's demonstration, hopefully you'll see a lot of where that stock-aware CRM phrase comes from and why it's so important for wholesale distribution and manufacturing businesses to have a specific CRM that really caters to their needs and their kind of nuances in the way that they, manage businesses and their day-to-day activities. Also on the screen, you can see that we have won lots of awards, which we're actually really proud of because these are actually voted for by users and actually not terms that you would specifically associate with CRMs, things like most implementable, high user adoption, and so on. CRMs, you may, as I said, are using one, you have tried to implement one in the past, but they get a pretty bad rap for, user adoption and so on. So these awards that we've won are just a product of the great market fit that we've got and how our product actually serves the customers that we're looking after. And obviously, just, the users want to get involved. They want to use the CRM. They can see the benefits in that. And again, hopefully today, I'll be showing you a lot more of why that is the case. But you can go and check out, the reviews that are being left, these awards and so on our website. We will send you all the links afterwards. But if you go to prospectsoft.com/reviews, you'll be able to see all this for yourself as well. So one of the things that kind of sets us aside from the other CRMs in the market is what we implement into our CRM, which is the growth formula for wholesale and distribution business, wholesale manufacturing and distribution businesses. And it is a pretty simple formula. It's got two main areas. So obviously getting more customers, pretty key in any successful business, regardless of whether you're selling services, products to B2C, to B2B, etc. It's all about, growing your customer base. But alongside that, quite importantly for wholesale manufacturing distribution businesses, we also implement another section into our growth formula, which is higher customer lifetime value. So looking at ways of how you manage your existing customer base and how you make the most out of that. So hopefully with these two parts of the formula together, getting more customers and concentrating on higher customer lifetime value, that should and for lots of our customers has been the case, equaling repeatable, profitable and continued sales growth going forward. So if we just break those areas down in a little bit more to have a look at what they actually mean. So the get more customer section is a pretty standard sales funnel that you might be very used to. So it's about looking at breaking down into, attracting new business. So maybe doing events and trade shows. You might be sending out e-shots, etc. But looking at ways of attracting quality leads into the top of that funnel. And then looking at how you then sell to those customers. So what features are available within that within the solution to be able to actually manage your sales process, taking them hopefully all the way through to a close status where they're placing their first order with you. But as I mentioned, for product-led businesses, that really isn't the end of the story. So quite a lot of the revenue is or should be probably coming from repeat ordering customers. So you then have this, as you can see at the bottom there, a flywheel scenario and looking at that higher customer lifetime value piece as well. So not only are you trying to bring in new business, but you're also trying to retain the business that you already have. So the growth model in Prospect CRM ensures that obviously you are growing your customer base, but you're also then looking looking at ways to increase average order value, order frequency, and really looking at retaining that customer base, so you're not having this leaky bucket effect where you're bringing in great new customers at the top, but then you're not aware of, the customer base that you've got, what the current situation is, and how that's performing as well. So that is the pretty simple growth model for product businesses that we implement into our CRM. And I will go through some of these kind of different segments in a bit more detail when we get into a short demonstration in today's webinar. The other thing that we have for our customers is the growth playbook. So ensuring that, when you come on board as a customer, we are continuously helping you evolve with the solution, and enabling, Prospect CRM to be pretty flexible, grow with your business, evolve with your business needs, etc. So we have a growth playbook, which is pretty much a simple map of how we help our customers achieve success with the CRM. Now, obviously, there's lots to go to see on here. I won't go through all of this today, don't worry. I will try and get it through it quickly for you, but this just kind of highlights to you how we enable our customers with different features, different ways of, meeting your needs and priorities at any one time. So as you can see here, we also break down our feature sets that we implement and configure within the CRM into those 2 growth strategies as well. So the get more customers section, how do I attract new customers to my business? How do I then sell to them successfully and close them and get them to place their first order? We then go on to the higher customer lifetime value, looking at ways of, onboarding those customers, get them into that repeat buying scenario. We then look at how you can increase order value, order frequency, and ultimately retain that customer base. Now, obviously, some of these things are they're kind of low investment and early return on investment pieces, where even in the free trial period, you get access to these, without doing, little configuration, little kind of time and effort from both sides. We can get you up and running with some return on investment features within the CRM. But obviously, we've got some other features that we can enable in the CRM, which may involve a bit more planning, a bit more configuration, but ultimately over time will get you a higher return on investment. But this is, as I said, a simple map of how we help our customers achieve success, and our onboarding consultants, and following that, our customer success managers as well. They will continuously come back to this with you as a customer and make sure that we're doing the right things at the right time within Prospect CRM to support your business. But again, lots to take in here. I will make sure this is sent to you after today's webinar, and you will have access to be able to see and kind of go through this in a bit more detail. But quite a lot of mention on here, specifically in the kind of customer lifetime value segment, is this RFM reporting. I will come back to that and just explain a little bit more about that, but it's one of the key insights that we have based on the customer data that we're pulling through from Unleashed. So that's something we will have a little bit of a focus on today as well. So yeah, I'll come back to that and go and have a bit more of a deep dive into that with you today. So RFM, that is it was an industry standard reporting logic. It's not something that we developed. It actually, if you go to Google and you put RFM analysis in, you'll find out lots of information about it. But it's widely used by wholesale, distribution, and manufacturing businesses. And it stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. So with the integration that we have to your Unleashed system, we're importing all of that, key sales information about your customers since the day they became a customer to today, essentially. So we're understanding, when they last placed an order, how often they're placing orders, and the average value of those orders as well. And with those 3 things, using the RFM logic, we categorize your customers automatically into these different segments that you can now see on the screen. So, things like champion customers that bought recently, buy often, and spend the most, all the way down to at-risk customers. So those that used to spend big money, purchase often, but haven't purchased for a long time. So it really gives you an overview of your customer base at any point in time. And you can really understand there, what's happening with your customers, who you should be contacting with what message at what time, and so on. So again, this really kind of hones in on that customer lifetime value piece that we're looking at in that growth formula. Now, we have as part of the RFM analysis for our customers, we've added a new section called new customers, and this is all about, where I mentioned to you earlier, where a lot of B2B product-led businesses, a lot of their revenue is coming from repeat orders. This enables you to have a focus on those new customers. So where you've got maybe kind of lots of SKUs going on, you've got lots of maybe low value products but high volume orders going through, the first order that somebody places with you isn't actually probably isn't very profitable for the business, and the profitability comes when they get into that repeat ordering schedule with you. So that just really allows you to focus on those new customers at that point in time, and give them a bit more support and assistance during that new period of them being a customer. But hopefully then obviously they travel up through these segments, and the idea is obviously you have lots of champion and lots of core loyal customers that are going to be quite sticky and come back to you time and time again for those repeat stock orders. But I will come back to this in the actual CRM and show you how this looks. So just before we do that, it's probably worth just mentioning some of the integration points that we have with Unleashed, because that is obviously a really key feature for your businesses, and probably why you're looking at Prospect CRM in the first place. So it is a two-way integration. So from Unleashed, we're pulling through all of the key fundamental information, such as currencies, taxes and warehouses information, all your customer and supplier file, products and inventory. So being able to pull through all the stock availability, purchase orders and so on, that all comes through from Unleashed. We're also then pulling through all that sales history, orders, invoices and credits, etc., for all of your customers into Prospect CRM, which will become the sales interface for your business. And so with all that information that we're importing, we're able to provide lots of actionable insights and sales analysis. You're able to then create new sales orders and do quoting in the CRM for prospects and for customers. And you're then able to, create new products on the fly. So if you've got new products that you're launching, or you've got a supplier file where you maybe don't keep all of them in stock, the CRM does enable you to actually create those products on the fly in Unleashed as well, and also any new customers. So obviously you're going to be dealing with lots of prospects, going back to that growth formula of getting new customers, and that two-way integration allows you to, without having to switch applications, also create those new products and new customers from within Prospect CRM. So lots of great information sharing there, enabling your sales teams and your other customer facing teams with all that key information about your customers and products and so on. But we'll touch a lot on this today in the demonstration, which without further ado we'll get into now, and I'll stop boring you with a PowerPoint presentation. So let's just jump into the trial. So here we have, I'm just going to stop my camera on this section so we can close that down. I'll turn it back on after. But you can see here that we're now in Prospect CRM. So I'm using a fictitious company today for the demo. It's called That's My Jam. So you'll see lots of jam products going on. You'll even have Oliver, Jamie Oliver and Mary Berry floating about in here as well. But pretty fictitious system we can show today. So straight away, we're on the account management dashboard, and this is all driven by the data that we're putting through from Unleashed. So even without entering anything into the CRM, you get access to all of this insightful information, all these key customer reports that we've got going on here. And these are even available in the free trial process that we offer as well. So front and center, you'll see the RFM analysis, which I covered in a bit more detail during the presentation. But you'll be able to see here, again, your customers segmented into these different categorizations. So we've got our loyal customers, champions, don't lose, needs attention, and so on, all been sorted automatically by the sales integration and that RFM logic that we've got there. I can hit one of these segments and it will take me through to a full list of all the customers that are currently making up that loyal customer segmentation. And you can see that we're pulling through some key information and displaying that in the CRM from Unleashed. So we're pulling through customer types, your account managers within Unleashed. And you can also see here we've got some key information such as the first order date, last order date, and the total order count for those customers since as their lifetime with you. You can also do some quite cool things with the reports in the CRM. So if I click on the three-dot menu at the top here, that expands out, and I can do things like make this report my own by adding our own fields and columns to this report. So you've got some further data in there. We can even export the data out to Excel. I'm definitely not very good with Excel, but you can, if you're able to, you can do pivot tables and all sorts of things there with the data that you've amalgamated in the CRM. We've got an add to campaign as well. So we've got a campaign activity feature within the CRM, going back to our growth formula, and looking at, communicating to prospects and to customers. We also have integration to MailChimp and Klaviyo with that feature as well. So making sure that we're, really honing in on that kind of top funnel section of the growth formula. We've also got a Google Maps integration, so you can pinpoint customers from these reports on a geographical locations using that feature. And obviously, pretty helpful if you've got customers, sales teams out on the road and so on. They might want to be able to pinpoint their customers and do a bit of a journey planner or so on. So just heading back to the account management dashboard now, we've also got some other key reports on here. So just looking at over at the top here, we've got an order section which shows you the sales history coming through from Unleashed and showing you the value of orders this month versus last month. And down at the bottom, we've got our customer trends report. Again, a really nice overview of your full customer base, showing you exactly those customers that are growing in spend year on year, those that are remaining static, and those that are declining as well. And obviously, we do have that see more on that tile too, giving you a full list of all your customers and how they're performing year on year. And if I just thought that difference there, obviously, probably quite more importantly, you can really quickly see those that are declining on spend, and it gives you an indication about who maybe you need to spend some time with, nurture a little bit, and get back into that kind of repeat ordering cycle with you. We do also have a close rate section. So this is obviously relating to sales opportunities. So you can manage those within the CRM, either for prospects where you're trying to sell your product for the first time, or indeed managing sales opportunities for existing customers where you might be introducing new product ranges they're not yet buying. So it just gives you that ability to manage a sales process, and obviously all the pipeline reporting that comes with that as well. I'll touch on that shortly towards the end of the demo a little bit more. We also have a customer service ticketing solution, which you can see here on the problems tile. So you can also manage your after sales tickets within the CRM, whether that's delivery issues. You might have a bit of a servicing warranty arm to the business as well. So all of that can be collated in one centralized location and managed within the CRM. Needs engagement, pretty self-explanatory, but obviously you can see here those customers that you might not have spoken to in a certain amount of time. And it just really gives you an opportunity to see who you should be calling and when. Probably most notable for a lot of our Unleashed customers, we have the missing order alerts, which relates to obviously those repeat stock orders that is quite relevant in B2B product-led businesses. So because we're importing all of that key sales history information through from Unleashed, we're able to understand exactly the buying patterns of all of your customers. And from that, we're automatically setting a days between orders for each of them as well. So quite quickly, we can start identifying where you've got missing orders within your customer base. So if I just click on the See More section here, that will take me to a full list of customers that should have ordered by now. I can see a quick tally up there of the orders that I'm missing and the value of those, so I can quite quickly identify how much revenue we're missing from these. But for each customer, I can see their days since last order, and it will also tell me their average days between orders as well as their average order value. So we're quite quickly seeing here a calling list for your sales and customer facing team, but we're also this kind of lends itself to being an early indicator of any churn risk that you might have within your customer base as well. And obviously all this information is constantly kind of relearning. So if you have a customer that their buying pattern changes over time, obviously the system will end up learning that and changing their average days between orders as it goes. From here, I'm going to select one of the customers. So I'm going to choose, who have we got here? I'm going to go for Mary Berry down here at the bottom. So I'm going to open up, actually, do you know what? That's probably the worst one to choose there because she's right at the bottom and she's only placed one order. So let's go for the Cafe Supreme at the top here. So as I mentioned, we are pulling through all of your customer file from Unleashed. So straight away, again, you've got all of your customer details in a Prospect CRM. And as you'd expect from the CRM solution, we're storing all of the company information, phone number, website, address. We've got a place where you can manage all your contacts underneath that company. Again, we're pulling those through from Unleashed, but you can have an unlimited number of contacts in the CRM under a company record. If I just come back over to here at the side, we've got an at a glance section. So for each of the customers, we're also providing a top level overview of some of the key information about them. So straight away, I can see what RFM segment they're in, when they last placed an order, and it will prompt me if that order is overdue as well. And I've also got some top spend information. So last 365-day spend and financial year to date spend per customer as well. If I click on one of these tiles, it will take me through to a line-by-line view of all the sales transactional history for Cafe Supreme. So I can see what products they're ordering, if it's been ordered, delivered, invoiced, etc. We're also pulling through all the financial information from that sales history, and we also include all of the sales and invoice numbers from Unleashed as well. So all of that kind of good sales quality, sales history information we're pulling through to the CRM. With the kind of line by line view, so obviously you can do searching here, you can find out what they paid for a product last time. But one of the key offerings that we have off the back of the sales history that we're importing through is this sales analysis page for each customer. So if I just click over to that, this gives us a bit more of an in-depth view of each of the customers. So I can come into here and see some key information at the top about the customer, including their order frequency days. And then I've got these interactable graphs just at the bottom, or just underneath that. We've got invoice value by month and order value by month. Again, just like the account management dashboard, you've got the see more section, which gives you a bit more of an in-depth report and breaks that down by spend, by month and by year as well for each customer. Also on the sales analysis section, we can also see the products that the customers are buying. So for Cafe Supreme, I can see what top products they're buying by value and by order frequency. And if I click the see more section, again, it will open up a full list of all the products this customer's purchasing, the value of all of the orders and how many times they've actually ordered that product. So again, some really key insightful information about your the customers and the products they're currently purchasing from you. You can also see on this page here, we're importing through product items from your Unleashed system. So not only are we pulling through all your customer information, we're also pulling through your full product file as well. So if I just click on the chili jam product at the top, it's now opened a product record for us in Prospect CRM, which has been pulled through from Unleashed. And you can see we've got a nice little quick, easy opening Unleashed link there. So Unleashed does remain your main product file, of course. So if you're changing any product names or pricing, if you're adding any new product lines, that will be done in Unleashed, and we'll be importing those through to Prospect CRM. And those imports are happening every 15 minutes automatically during the day. So all of the data is coming, pretty much real time into Prospect CRM. We also pull through any product imagery that you've got stored in Unleashed, but equally you can just add that into Prospect CRM. And with that, we can start adding, we can create nice fancy quotation documents that you can send out to prospects and customers using that product imagery. And you can also store product files in here as well. So if you've got, drawing specifications, instruction manuals, health and safety documents, they can all be stored in. And again, we can attach those to emails and quotations that you're sending from the CRM. Probably more importantly, we're also pulling through the full product specifications. So all the list prices and cost prices are coming through from Unleashed. And we're also pulling through the full available quantity of stock in Unleashed as well. If you're using bill of materials, we also are pulling that information through, as well as all your purchase and supplier information. So within Prospect CRM, a salesperson that is quoting or doing an order can quite quickly see how many you've got in stock, when the next date available is for the next lot that's being delivered to you. And also, again, with the bill of materials, they can see how much of the product is possible to be made and manufactured in-house as well. So without having to switch applications, that salesperson has got all of the key and relevant information to service your customers and prospects within Prospect CRM. Just on the stock information side, if I click on the stock levels page against the product, it does break it down by warehouse. If you're running multiple warehouses, again, we can pull all that information into the CRM. Equally, we can also restrict that as well. If you've got, you probably don't want to show your quarantine warehouse as total available stock and so on. We do have a nice upsell feature available within the CRM. Again, if we're looking at the growth formula and the average order value and increasing that for each of your customers, this is a really great tool to enable a prompt at the point of sale or point of quotation. And you can link products together and allow the salesperson to offer must-sell items, upgraded items, nice to have items, etc. So you can link all those products together and it gives that prompt at the point of quotation or order as well. We're also pulling through all the pricing information from Unleashed. So I did mention the list price and cost price, but it's also key to mention that we're pulling through any customer specific price bands, quantity break pricing, etc. So again, this becoming your sales interface where you're doing quotes and orders, that the salesperson will have all the customer specific pricing. We adhere to all of that, and that is managed in Unleashed but pulled through to the CRM. So again, any changes that are made, we will make those in the CRM as well. So you can really now start seeing where that stock aware coined phrase is coming through and how some of those integration points are working with Prospect CRM from Unleashed. And obviously with all of that, we do still have all the traditional CRM features that you would expect as well. Without delving into too much detail on all of this today, if I click on the create button at the top, you can see here lots of different features available in the CRM. So obviously, I've spoken a lot about how we pull your existing customers through, but obviously you are able to store prospects and people that you're kind of that may have called you, made an inquiry through website or email. You can create them on the CRM. We've got company and business creation here as well. And we do have a data importer tool which allows you to create those new prospects in the CRM on bulk too. We have, as I mentioned, sales opportunity management. So you're able to manage your sales pipelines and your sales opportunities through the CRM, regardless of whether that's for prospects or for existing customers. We've got our after sales ticketing tool that I mentioned earlier, and you are able to create and send out quotations from the CRM, again, to prospects and to customers, as well as creating sales orders for them directly in the CRM. I'll actually come and show you that, come onto that bit and show you how to create a quotation in Prospect CRM and create that as a sales order in Unleashed shortly. We have full document management, so you can store documents into the CRM, as well as integration to Gmail and Outlook for the integration there with the emails and making sure that we've got the key correspondence all saved in here too. Looking at the growth formula and back to the kind of sales funnel and attracting new business, as I mentioned, we have that campaign manager feature with integration to MailChimp and Klaviyo. And we also have inquiry form builders as well. So you're able to create a form in the CRM, apply that to your current website, and it will automatically create those inquiries into the CRM with new contact and company records too. We have an equipment register. So again, kind of going back to linking that into the after sales ticketing solution. So if you're renting products out, so if you've got, if you're a coffee company and you're not only selling the coffee consumables, but you're also renting out coffee machines, you can manage equipment registers within the CRM, service contracts, and we can link those back to the ticketing solution of being able to manage servicing, warranty repairs, etc., all through Prospect CRM. And we also have the full report builder. So I've shown you kind of some of the key reporting ability that we have as standard in the CRM, but we do also have the ability for you to create your own reports and slice and dice the data as you need to within here as well. So on that note, as I said, I was going to show you how to create and manage a quotation within the CRM. So if I go to the search everything at the top here and I look for a customer, so this obviously does what it says on the tin there, and it searches everything within the CRM. So any search term will then return any record relating to that within here. And as you can see, I've put Michelle Jury in and it's returned Michelle Jury, who works at Browns of Ipswich. We've got the company information there too. If I click on Michelle Jury's name, it will open up her contact record. And again, as you would expect from a CRM, we are storing all of that key contact information, email addresses, phone numbers, communication section where you can manage GDPR, unsubscribe and subscribe flags for email sending, social links, and so on. This is also where we can start maybe looking at the activity feed a little bit as well. So not only obviously we have kind of that key information automatically in the CRM, you can also start building up an activity feed for your customers. So any conversations that you're having with Michelle or anyone else, any emails that you're sending, and as you can see here, it does show all the quotes, sales orders, and so on for Michelle in this activity feed. So we're keeping all key correspondence. We know exactly the conversations that have been happening with Michelle at any one time, and I can go in, I can add a note in pretty easily there. We do also have task management. So again, you can set reminders and follow-ups for yourself or for another member of the team. And we have calendar integration too. So you can book appointments within here. You can see your Outlook or Gmail and calendars within the CRM too. So it really starts bringing all of the day-to-day activities that your teams will be doing into one sales interface, as I mentioned, collating it in one solution. Just on that activity feed, before we get into the quotation side, just coming over to the communication section here, we've got that Google Maps integration that I mentioned earlier, but it's obviously probably worth noting that Prospect CRM is available on any device, anywhere, at any time. So it's fully responsive to whatever you're using, so mobile phone, iPad, etc. So that's just, I like to mention it there because I go out on the road sometimes and I do use that Google Maps feature quite often on my phone for directions and so on. But you can also see on this communication side section here, we've got the email address for Michelle. And if I click on that, it will open up an email editor directly within the CRM. Now, as I said, we have that integration to Gmail and Outlook, so we're able to send this from your own company domain with your signature set up and so on. But the reason that we're sending these through the CRM and not kind of open up an Outlook email is because we can do some quite cool things with templates here. So I just as a kind of in the demo system, I've got an appointment email, a welcome email for new customers. So if I clicked on that, it will automatically pre-populate this email for me. It will merge in Michelle's details, my details, and so on. And it's automatically copied over or attached a PDF terms and conditions form for us as well. If I then send this email directly from the CRM, it will automatically save it. Any responses you can BCC in the record, and any responses will automatically save back as well. And we do have a save to CRM add-in in Gmail and Outlook. So you'll be able to save any key emails from your customers or to and from your customers back into the CRM as well. We're also able to have email tracking on with emails that have been sent from the CRM. So another nice feature that you obviously don't have in Outlook or Gmail. So if I open up that email that I've just sent to Michelle and click on the tracking tab, I will see when it's been sent, if it's been delivered, and also when it's been actually opened by the customer, how many times they've opened it, and if they've clicked on any links there. So you really get an understanding maybe before you do a follow-up, specifically on a quote and so on, but the salesperson has all that kind of key tracking information there as well. So Michelle Jury is an existing customer of ours. She's already existing in our Unleashed. She places orders maybe every 2 weeks with us, and I can see straight away on her contact record what company she works at. And from this breadcrumb menu, I can even quickly skip up to the Browns of Ipswich company record and see some key information about the company straight away. But as I said, Michelle is an existing customer. She's on the phone and she wants to place her repeat stock order with us. Now, Michelle needs to go away and get a purchase order. So she knows what she wants to order, but she also wants us to send her a quotation to be able to get that sign off internally. So from here on Michelle's record, I can quickly go over to the plus button and I can create a quotation for Michelle. Now, as I mentioned with the integration, we're pulling through all the key information from Unleashed on this customer record. So the default warehouse, the currency, the tax code, etc., the price band, that's all coming from Unleashed. But if you are at any point quoting a prospect, you can set the price band at this stage as well. So if you're obviously wanting to quote a prospect at a wholesale price band, we can make sure you can do that even before they've got an account within Unleashed. But I'm going to go ahead and click the create button at the bottom, and that's going to open up our quotation record for Michelle. And because Browns of Ipswich have purchased from us in the past, the first thing you will get is a drop down that shows you exactly what they're most frequently ordering. So in that repeat ordering scenario, it's really, really nice quick feature to be able to say, they want 3 more of the blissful blueberry jam, which is really hard to say. and I can go through there. You can see our upsell feature that's just come up there, saying, would you want to upgrade to the 8 blueberry and strawberry jam mix as well? So I can add those products to my quotation. I can change the quantity. I can overtype the price at any point as well. I can add a line discount. And if I just head over to this little pencil mark, we also get some key information about this product. So the pricing information, including margin, which you're able to set. And if you've got salespeople that are able to give discounts, you can set a minimum margin percentage there to make sure that they're not going below that, and obviously making the product non-profitable. But we've got the cost price and list price information there. And that provides you with margin and markup abilities within the CRM. We can also see the stock of a product on this quotation screen as well, and also any recent purchase history for Browns of Ipswich for our blueberry and strawberry mixed jam. It will also then tell you how many they ordered last time, what they paid for it, and so on. I can also then do a product search, so I can search for a product SKU or for a product description on this entry screen here. But equally, I can click the Add Products button and open up a full product search. Now, you can see here we're on the recently purchased report. So through the sales history that we're importing from Unleashed, we know exactly what was on this customer's last order. And in a repeat stock ordering environment, we can quite quickly just change the quantity of the products they typically order from us. So quite quickly here, I can place this repeat stock order for Michelle, and I can add those to my quotation. But equally, if I just go back to that add product section, we do have a full product search here, again, enabling you to search your full product file that we're importing through. We can categorize this or expand it down by product category. But I can search my jam products and again, use this multi-line order entry to quite quickly do a repeat stock order for Michelle. And if I add and close that, you can see at the background there, it's added those items to my quotation. So now what I want to do is send this out to Michelle so she can go away and hopefully get that purchase order so we can process this as a sales order through to Unleashed. So we have the ability for you to create standard documents, templates within the CRM. Just as an example, I've got some in here. So for instance, we've got our simple quote document. These are built-in words, so we can do adding your colors, your logo, your branding, etc., all within the documents. And you can have multiple different quotation documents there to select from. But just for today, I'm going to go to Michelle's email address against the quote on the communication tab, and I'm going to actually send this quotation out by email. So from here, I can select a template that we've pre-defined within the CRM. And during our onboarding process, that is something that we will help you do, of course. So in here, I'm going to select my email cover for PDF quote. So you can see it's automatically attached the PDF document to this email that I'm going to send out to Michelle. I've got my standard blurb that is pulled through, and we've even got these approve and decline buttons. So this is what we call our quote to order workflow. So again, when you're on a repeat ordering cycle with a lot of your customers, it's just a nice way to take away some of that manual intervention of just simply confirming an order for a customer. So what this enables is for me to send this email out to Michelle, all the products on the quotation, pricing, etc. And then she's able to click approve to go ahead with this quotation and confirm it to an order. That will take her to a portal where she can enter the purchase order reference. If you've got pro forma customers, you can also get them to place put their credit card details in there as well. But ultimately, this will then put this order straight into Unleashed as a sales order, ready to be picked, shipped, and invoiced as normal, without the salesperson having that manual intervention again at this point. Once Michelle's approved this quotation to an order, the salesperson that created the quote will obviously get a notification to say it's gone through as an order. And equally, if for whatever reason Michelle decides to decline that quotation and not proceed with it, the salesperson again will get that notification to tell them that's happened. But I'm going to go and send this quotation to Michelle. Hopefully she is going to go ahead with it at this stage. And it will automatically, again, save this quotation email back into the CRM. So again, I've got that full view of what's happening with my customers, what's been sent out, what's on the quotation, and so on. If for whatever reason you're not going to use the quote to order workflow, or Michelle decides to give you a call back instead of clicking that button, it's a really simple process to then transfer this through to Unleashed as a sales order. So from here, I can take Michelle's purchase order reference. We've got the delivery section where you can enter a delivery address. It will automatically take the company address at this point. We can select our Unleashed delivery method from here as well. And we also have the ability to set up and choose delivery options and charges at this point in the CRM too. But if I just head back to the entry screen, all I need to do to confirm this order to Unleashed to be picked, shipped and invoiced as normal is click this confirm order button. So doing so will then transfer this through to Unleashed as a sales order without having to switch applications, rekey it and so on. So again, you're doing all your quoting, all that kind of pre-sale stuff within the CRM, and it's really nice and simple, that two-way sync and integration to Unleashed to then confirm that through, to then go through the operational and delivery process of the business as well. If you are quoting a prospect that has not yet purchased from you, you might remember me saying that you can create new customers in Unleashed from within Prospect CRM. So when I click that confirm order button for somebody that doesn't yet exist in our Unleashed, it will actually prompt me to say that this person needs an Unleashed account. And it will at that point enable me to create that account. It will enable me to set payment terms, tax codes, price bands, main contact, and all of that good stuff that you need to create an account in Unleashed directly within the CRM. Again, not having to switch applications there, but we're able to complete the whole process through Prospect CRM. As I mentioned, we do take card payments, so we have integration to Stripe payment gateway. So if you've got pro forma customers, you can still take those payments from the CRM, and we post that into Unleashed with a paid flag and a receipt from the Stripe interface. So if I just now head back to our dashboard area, so we focus quite a lot here on the, as I mentioned, the kind of higher customer lifetime value piece of the growth formula, which is probably, where we set ourselves aside from the other traditional CRMs. But as I mentioned, we do have full capabilities of managing inquiries and sales opportunities through Prospect. And from there, we have an array of other reports here on the dashboard that enable you to manage that process as well. So we've got sales manager and sales rep dashboards, all relating to that sales pipeline and forecast reporting, where you can see what you've got due to close this month, the value of those opportunities, and so on. So really helping you hone in on that process, being able to convert as many prospects to new customers as possible from that feature. We do also have the sales pipeline available as a Kanban view as well. So I can see quite quickly all the opportunities as a salesperson that I'm working on, what stage they're at. I can click into them and open the records up and see lots more about them. And I can also drag and drop these around to change where they're sitting in my pipeline and what the current situation is with them. We also then have another feature within the CRM, which is called our Magic Matrix dashboard. Again, this is going back to the higher customer lifetime value piece of that growth formula. If I just click on to show you here, so Magic Matrix is another reporting logic that we've built into the CRM that is widely used by wholesale manufacturing businesses, which enables you to identify where you've got cross-sell and upsell opportunities within your existing customer base. So what we do here is we automatically import your product categories from Unleashed. You do have the option to configure categories specifically for the Magic Matrix in the CRM. If you need to as well, we can help you through that process and deciding what the best route is. But ultimately here, I can see all of my product categories that have got products sitting within those. And from the sales history that we're importing, we can quite quickly identify where we've got customers that are aware and are purchasing from that product category, but quite probably more importantly, where we've got customers that aren't purchasing from that product category. And if I go to the Open Magic Matrix, that shows you the actual matrix itself in a nice grid form. So we can see our categories across the top, all of our customers down the side, and then we've got that clear color traffic light code in here in the middle, which shows us where we have got customers that are purchasing it with the green dot. So I can see here, Bill's Kitchen is purchasing from our finished jam products category. but we've got our Cafe Supreme who are not purchasing from our fruit flavoured jam category. So again, as I mentioned, a really nice, easy way to identify where you've got the sales opportunities within your existing customer base. So without going to get more customers and looking at that sales funnel section of the growth formula, how can I use the customer base that I've got to increase sales? So Magic Matrix enables you to kind of leverage that information and increase the kind of product penetration that you've got within your existing customer base. We also have a build awareness section on this Magic Matrix, which ultimately helps you build campaigns to help you build awareness within your customer base for products they're not purchasing. And as you can see, that does then change the little dots to orange. And then if you log an opportunity off the back of that and start managing a sales process for a customer to sell them these products they're not purchasing, that will change the dot to blue, and you can see all that information there. And from the Magic Matrix, I can quite easily come here, see all my customers as a salesperson. I can click on Cafe Supreme and I can go and create an opportunity, and I can start managing that sales process to get them to be aware of our fruit flavoured jams and hopefully get them to also start stocking that product of ours as well. Not something I suppose I can show you it in this demo system, but we also have a growth formula. So obviously, or the growth engine within the CRM. So obviously one of our key things is to help you grow your sales and your business. So the growth engine, once you start using Prospect CRM, is something that will actually start helping you understand where you've got the growth, where you need some focus. So it really starts enabling you to see what processes are being followed in the CRM, where you've got growth, and where we can see areas for growth in the business. So again, a really nice reporting feature to really hone in on that growth strategy and being able to increase sales, increase coverage of customer base within Prospect CRM. So on that note, that brings us to the end of today's demo. I know there's a lot of stuff here that I haven't shown you. There's lots going on, lots of features that we probably want to get into in a bit more detail with you. So if I just head back to our PowerPoint presentation and look at the next steps. So you can take a Prospect free trial. You can do that via our website, which is prospectsoft.com. You can click on the take a free trial button and it will enable you to create that trial, integrate it to your Unleashed. So even within that free trial process, you've got those key customer analysis reports at your fingertips. You can also log into Unleashed itself and go to the integration store within Unleashed, and you can actually action a free trial from within Unleashed as well. That will obviously do the integration for you automatically and enable you to see your data in Prospect CRM in those RFM grids and the Magic Matrix and so on. With the free trial, you also will have the ability to have a one-to-one demo. So we can actually take you through what I've taken you through today, but obviously in a bit more depth with your real life data, showing you exactly the return on investment ability for your business, and we can take you through